Hey folks, Alex here from 9 to 5 to Freedom. So glad I'm able to make another video this evening. We're going to talk about a fund that I bought 6,000 shares of. Give an update on the portfolio, what happened in the market today, and the next moves for this week. So let's hop into it, folks. Got a few things to cover here. We'll make it brief. We'll make it interesting. And S&P 500, we'll start out with this, is at 0.61%. Now today is July 9th, and this was supposedly the day that we're going to have tariffs kicked back in, but that can got pushed down the road. So I think the new date is now in August. Now, if you watch my video from Monday, I talked about, or maybe that was Sunday, I talked about how I'm going to prepare for the tariffs on the 9th, and I did end up lowering my margin down to $65,000 from the $113,000 that I had on margin. Now, looks like things have picked back up, and did I make a mistake selling that? Well, nobody has a crystal ball. I think I went on the safer side. Did I miss out on some gains from today? Yes, I did. But today overall was a very nice day, and I was able to get into something else and make a little profit. Before we get into that, a huge thanks to all the new subscribers, folks. I'm at 886. This is mind-blowing because just a couple weeks ago I was just over 100 subscribers. So glad folks are finding this channel. If you enjoy these kind of videos, please go ahead and subscribe to it so you make sure you don't miss any new ones that I post. Okay, let's talk about my portfolio and what did I buy? What is the mystery 6,000 shares? Now, folks, I'll confess, a few months ago, I actually made fun of someone who will be named unnamed, who bought into this fund, who wanted to become rich buying these shares. Now, I did some research and things have changed. And what did I buy? Well, folks, I hate to admit it, but I ended up buying ULTY. And a lot of my comments were questioning why I'm not buying ULTY. ULTY is from Yieldmax. It's Ultra Options Income. Okay, so what are they doing? Let's see. ULTY is actively managed ETF that seeks to generate monthly income from a portfolio of covered call strategies, each on the U.S. listed security, each an underlying security and collectively underlying securities. Whatever that means. I still don't know what ULTY is. If somebody knows what ULTY is, please explain it to me in the comments. I'll be humble. So anyways, ULTY was slightly down this morning. Now, a little bit of history of ULTY, since I've done a little bit of my homework on ULTY. Okay, so ULTY, let's see, we'll look at the chart. This is why I was not a fan of ULTY. Okay, I looked at this chart, and I think any wise investor, if he's looking at a chart that is, if you're down 68.5% since its inception, logical conclusion would be that if you wait a little bit longer, the negative number will continue to get more negative. Okay, but look at this, folks. What is our lowest point? Well, our lowest point is April 4th of this year at $5.45. So what changed from April? Now, April was also the time we had the tariff announcements and all of that bad stuff. But what happened in April was the change on how Yieldmax managed this fund. You see, before that, this was a monthly payer, and they were kind of overpaying. They were just paying way too much out, and the NAV continued to erode. Now, if you like getting your own money back, this is a great fund. But I'm one of those folks who likes to make money, not just get my own money back. So why did I go into it? Well, I started looking at the trend from April 4th, and we see a slight sideways and uptrend. Now, it's moving sideways, but let's look at 6 months chart, okay? Here we can zoom in on April 545. Our last highest point was May 14th. And then it continues to wobble, but it is moving sideways and up, which is good to see. Now, it is now a weekly payer, and it's paying out a huge amount of money. Right now, it's estimating 79% distribution rate. Now, if it continues to be flat and it can pay you almost 80%, this is almost like a no-brainer. Like, what kind of magic are they doing in here? Okay, so why did I buy into it? Well, they just had their declaration day on the 2nd, and they just paid out a dividend on the 7th. Okay, so let's look at the chart here. 5-day chart. We'll go back to the 7th. This is when that dividend was paid. Now, look at the drop. We went from 631 down to 619. Okay, this was the dividend that was paid. Let's see here, roughly about a 10-cent dividend. But look at this recovery. It has been recovering. And today I got into it at $6.22. So my thought process is, next week when this pays out, let's see if it will recover its dividend. If it recovers its dividend just like it did this week, then why not? Why not try it out for a week, see if it works. If it doesn't work, and if it ends up being a loss, I'll cut my losses and we'll move on. But that is kind of the thought process that I had. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. But today, let's look at the portfolio, folks. This is my portfolio for those who are new. And we'll just sort it by largest holdings to lowest. Right now, I have almost $165,000 of my own money in this portfolio. $103,000 is on margin. So today was a beautiful green day. We're up almost $3,800. So up 2.34%. Look at this. Year to date, we are in the green. We've officially entered the green category, 0.05%. Now, I did end up selling some stuff off earlier this week, which is a little bit sad, but it's okay. So let's talk about what is still red. Well, MSDY had a very nice recovery today. We're up $1,600. We're still down 1.33% year to date. XDT, I talk about this one a lot. This is one of my favorite ones. I bought this before the tariffs back in March, and I bought it at a high price. So I'm just waiting for this to continue to climb. The rest are doing exceptionally well. Bitcoin is up. So we see VTCI shares are going up. PLTY is going up. Very nice, 5.42% up. Tesla has been very rocky. And today is another red day for Tesla. We're down 5.67% on the Tesla. NVIDIA has been a rocket, folks. So we're up 11% on NVIDIA. Very nice. SMCY is slowly recovering. This is another one that I bought early in March. And TSMY, we're up almost 3%. So overall, I'm really loving the way that this is looking very positive. I hope that the momentum continues to move in the right direction. Now, I had some folks ask me, where do I see how much I have on margin? Well, this is the number here. This is what I have on margin, 103. So when I receive the dividend, that amount of dividend is going to lower my margin. Okay. So that's what we got. Now let's look at dividend view. So this is going to calculate based on what our holdings are, what our annual income is expected. So it's showing $203,000. So that's very optimistic. The way I look at it, even if I get half of this, I'll be very, very happy. So we track our dividends weekly. We do weekly video at the end of the week, typically either on Friday evening or Saturday. Talk about the dividends, total return, and where we sit. Now, folks, for those who are new, I don't have drip on. That means all the dividends that I'm getting, they're going directly against margin. Why? You might ask, well, I'm using a lot of the dividends or borrowing from margin to pay down some of my debt. So once I pay my debt down, then I can continue to just pay down the margin. So the logic behind it, if you have debt that is higher than your margin interest, you want to attack that first, and you want to just hold some margin on interest until you pay off the larger interest rate loans that you have. So that is the plan. Okay, folks, that is the rundown of my portfolio. What are my next moves for this week? I'm not sure. I'm going to keep an eye on it. We're going to see how ULTY does next week with the dividend payout. Today, it's up $442, which is very nice. If I really wanted to, I could just, sell this tomorrow and make $400. So that's another strategy, but we're going to hold on to it. We'll see how it performs. Okay. So if you like this kind of content, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Leave any questions below. I try to address everybody's questions. Getting a lot of new people in here, and there is no dumb question. So I appreciate all the engagement, and we'll see you on the next video, folks. Take care.